Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to Learn to Read Quran. So what are we going to do in today's lesson? Well, we're going to carry on from last time. So last time we did the Sukoon. So today we are talking about, yes, still Sukoon, but it's a slightly different presentation in the sense of we're looking at the Sukoon on certain letters. We're looking at the Sukoon on the letter Wow and the letter Ya. And you might think to yourself, well, that's slightly random. Why do I need to look at it on those two letters? All will become clear, inshallah, as we go through this lesson. So let's start. We have, on line 1, we have a hamza with a fatha and a wow with a sukoon. So if you're looking at the sukoon and thinking, don't really know what to do with that, then please go back to the previous video and have a look at that lesson because you must know what the sukoon does to be able to carry on with this course. So we have the hamza with the fatha, which is an noise, and then we have a wow with a sukoon. So when I join the to the w, it becomes ow. So I hear the fatha, the noise, nice and clearly. Don't start changing that into an oo noise just because you have a wow next to it. Ow. And you can hear the wow quite clearly because every letter with sukoon, this is something that hopefully you'll be saying in your sleep because I'll be saying it a lot. Every letter with sukoon must get a little bit more time. In this case, for the wow, it's so that the noise can just flow a little bit. That's one of the characteristics of the wow that you need to hear when the letter has the sukoon. So by giving the letter with the sukoon, in this case the wow, a little bit more time, you get to hear the sound, and in that way the letter and what the letter is very clear. So I'm going to move on. Fa with a fatha followed by a wow with the sukoon. Faw. Qi. So in each of these examples that you will see, it'll be a letter with a fatha followed by a wow with the sukoon. And that's a special situation. It has, in the tajweed terminology, it's called a leen situation, but you don't have to memorize that. All I need you to know is that when you have a letter with a fatha and then you have a wow with a sukoon, make sure that that letter with the fatha keeps the fatha noise clearly before you join up to the wow. And that's really what this page is about. And as you can see, we will be doing the leen with the ya. But let's just look at the wow lines first. So this is on line 1. We're going to carry on. Lam with a kasra, li. Qaf with a fatha, and we know that qaf is a thick, heavy letter. We're going to join it to the wow with the sukoon. Qaw. Li. Him. So I'll just take off my scribblings so that we can have a look at this word again, and I will recite it again for you so that you can copy and practice with me. Li. Qaw. Li. Him. Okay, I'll carry on. I've got a ha with a fatha and a wow with a sukoon. Ha is this noise, isn't it? So ha with a, what a strange little scribble I've done there. So the ha with the fatha just gives you a ha noise. It's the deep ha. It's not the breathy one, it's a very deep one, the kind that you would use to try and warm up your hands on a cold day. Ha. So I've got that noise and it's joining to the wow. How. Nin, because the two kasras gave me an in noise. Let's move on. Line 2. Ya with a fatha joining to the wow. Yow. Mun. So I'm going to use this word that we've just done, yawmun, as the example of what not to do. So if I don't make the fatha clear, it will start to sound like yo, yo, but it's not yo, it's ya first. You need to hear that ah noise. Yo, mun. Okay. Then I've got fa, ro, hun, low, hin, fa, so, fa. And this is another good one. This word here that we've just done at the end of line 2 is another one, good one for me to use as an example of how not to pronounce this. So I could have said fa, so, fa, but then I would have changed that fatha noise almost to an u noise, almost to a dhamma noise. So this is what we have to be careful. We have to be careful to keep that fatha nice and clear before we get to the wow. So this word again is fa, so, fa. Let's carry on. Line 3, feel. And remember, we talked about the ra, didn't we? We talked about ra being heavy or light. Heavy when it has a fatha or a dhamma, light when it has a kasra. When it has a sukoon like it does here, we have to look and see what we've joined up to it with. And here we've joined up with a kasra, so that means that the ra will be light. It will not be heavy, just as if it had a kasra on it itself. So, fil, aw, na. So the a joined to the wow. Aw, na. Then I have la, saw, tu. Cow, ka, ban. The two fathas here gave me the n noise. The ra is thick and heavy, joining to the wow with the sukoon. Raw, run. Line 4, za, joining to the wow. Zau, ju, ka. The noon with the fatha joining to the wow. Now, mun. Ta joining to the wow. Tau, ba, tu, hum. Ha joining to the wow. How, fun. Okay, so those were the examples of letters with a fatha that were then followed by a wow with a sukoon. And the same thing we need to be careful of if we have a letter with a fatha and following it is a ya with a sukoon. So here we have on line 5, I, lay, ka. So this lam with the fatha, la, joining to the ya with the sukoon, and remember every letter with sukoon gets a bit more time, then that means that you will hear the sound flowing through the ya when I'm pronouncing it. So let's hear this again. We have I, lay, ka. I'll do some more examples and hopefully this should all become clear now. Wa, way, lun. So this kaf with the fatha is ka. It's joining to the ya here. Kay, fa. Ba joining to the ya. Bay, on. Line 6. A, lay, kum. Ooh, I've just noticed. Did anyone spot that? I'm going to have to add that in. This needs a dhamma on it. This needs a dhamma on it. Okay, now it makes more sense, doesn't it? A, lay, kum, because the kaf should have had a dhamma there. Okay, a ra with a fatha, joining to a ya with a sukoon, ray, ra. Sheen with a fatha, joining to the ya with sukoon, shay, in. The hamza had two kasras there. Line 7, we have hamza with a fatha, joining to a ya with a sukoon, ay, دي يا هم. قاف with the دمة قو. Ra with the fatha joining to the ya. Rai shin. Ra with the fatha ra. Nice and thick and heavy because it's got a fatha on it. And then the hamza with the fatha joining to the ya with the sukoon. Ay ta hum. Lam with the fatha joining to the ya. Lay lan. Last line. Sad with the fatha joining to the ya with the sukoon. Sai ha tin. So you can still hear the thickness, the heaviness of the sad before with that fatha before you join it up to the ya. Then dad with the fatha joining to the ya with the sukoon. Dai fi. Ha with the fatha joining to ya with sukoon. Hay thu. And finally kha with the fatha joining to the ya with the sukoon. Khayrun with the two dhammas on the ra there. So this was another page effectively of Sukoon, understanding how the Sukoon allows you to join up from the letter before to that letter with the Sukoon. But also we had a look at two special situations when you had a letter with a Fatha and then followed by a Waw with the Sukoon. And we had that from lines 1 to 4. And then from lines 5 to 8, we had letters with fatha when they had a ya with the sukoon after it. And with each of those cases, we had to make sure that we made sure that the letter with the fatha had a proper fatha noise on it before you joined it up to either the ya or the waw. So practice this over before you move on, because the sukoon is a very important point in learning how to read Quran, because this is how we join up from one letter to another. But you're doing very well and keep practicing, and inshallah I'll see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.